Thank you for watching In Harmony. Today we're at the Dubuque Area Arts Collective, and we have a few artists who have come and painted incredible murals on our windows. And right now we're going to speak with Andonia Giannakouros. So Andonia, thank you so much for coming and painting the beautiful mural on the windows. That looks fantastic.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, no problem. And do you want to tell us a little bit about your work and your past in Dubuque and your heritage?
Okay, I was born in Dubuque, so I've been a Dubuquer almost my whole life, but I left really quickly to go to Memphis, 6 years, tiny little bit of time. And then now I'm back, and I've been back for about 3 years. My work in general, I do mostly figurative pieces, and it's representational but not realistic. Yes. And I like symbolism a lot, and then lately I've been trying to take my sketches more seriously. So I do like these goofy drawings, and then they just don't feel like finished art to me. So then I did like a goofy drawing on the window, and it feels more finished now that it's on the window.
Yes,
that's
true.
Nice.
You mentioned you do a lot of symbolism, and I have noticed in a lot of your recent works that you have included a lot of random objects like fruits in jars and the broken tire. So what are some of those, what do they mean in some of these pieces?
So the things in jars, it started off as kind of like a preservation. It was a symbol for memory. And then when I was living in Memphis, they had a really great Vietnamese grocery store there, and they had balut in jars, and that's partially, it's fertilized duck eggs, and then the fetus kind of grows halfway, and then they take the egg and boil it, and then they peel off the shell, and then they pickle it, and it just is really disturbing looking. Apparently delicious. I've never tried it. I can't bring myself to do that. But anyway, so I was painting that for a while, and then on the painting that you saw at Salon 2 years ago, those jars showed up, and it was just kind of, they were hanging out. I wasn't done painting them, so they showed up as like a memory symbol on that painting.
And did it reflect anything with the figure that you chose to?
Yeah, so the main figure in the middle of that piece, he was a story that somebody had told me. Mm-hmm. And then I was thinking about this article that I read that every time you tell a story, you kind of lose a little bit of it. So then the next time you tell the story, your brain has to like leap over this gap, and then you start filling in things so that you can kind of get along the path of your story. And so the more I had her tell me this story, the more I would interject and say, oh, you should tell this story to so-and-so. And then I would jump in and I would add things that weren't there originally. And the next time she told the story, those things would be in it from her mouth. And so then we kind of evolved the story. It was terrible. We evolved the story to the point where this poor man had his legs backwards completely, and then that's what I painted.
That's awesome. So what drives you to paint the human body? What is it that you like?
I really like large scale.
Yes.
And then it's nice to be able to paint the human body in actual physical scale, so like the same scale that it would be in real life or slightly bigger, yes. Because it's just, I think that it gets more and more disturbing the bigger you have a representational human body in your works. Like I'm thinking of Jenny Saville, and she does these giant paintings of the human figure, and they're just really amazing in the gallery. And then also it's cool to see on opening night, like people standing in front of your painting. It's very like, the juxtaposition is cool.
Yes, and all the detail of the body as well when it's blown up. In some of your pieces, I really enjoy that.
I love skin. It's great. It's like transparent. It's got all this stuff underneath it. It's good stuff.
Is there like a perfect environment or a state of mind for you to be creative?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for the most part I like to be alone, and that's hard to do, but it's like I don't like being cold, I don't like it to be dark, and I just like a lot of space to create in. And then I also want people around so that it's like, it's accessible, it's a third-party place, and you can just say, I want a lot of people to come in and just, you know, sit in the space and talk about what I'm making. I don't mind people coming in and talking about it after it's already made, but it's like in process is kind of like, ooh. There's stages, you know. You get to a certain stage and you're like, okay, everybody can come in and look at this. It's not finished yet, but it's like, I can walk away from it and not just cringe about somebody else seeing it. That's one of the hardest things about working in Studio Works is that sometimes you clean up at the end of the night and you're not ready for anybody to see it, but it's a public studio space at the end of the day, and everybody's going to walk through there and look. And
is there anything else that you want to tell us?
I think that's good. I'm good.
Yes.
That's it. Thanks, Yvonne.
No problem. Thank you for coming and helping us out.
Yeah, it was super fun.